Hi, I'm Kelly and Cows. Welcome to this channel, Stone the Crone. Today we're talking mermaids. And like the charity in the UK that supports, promotes, and propagandizes this gender woo crap, it's very symbolic. You hear Jazz Jennings with her mermaid tales, and they've even put these mermaid tales of this Jazz Jennings and in the Smithsonian, like in display, like, as historical woman. You always hear with the mermaid symbology that it's because they have no genitals, and fish have genitals, snakes have genitals. Like, just because you do not see the genitals under the scales does not mean the genitals are non-existent. They don't exist at all. I find that very, very interesting. This very much a perversion of symbology in that regard. Like um, they just take it, warp it, manipulate it, and regurgitate it. Is probably the best way to just, in my opinion, to describe this movement. It's a regurgitation of all this other shit. It's literally a mongrel cult, isn't it? Like, we know it's a cult, but it's a mongrel cult, and I've mentioned this before. It's literally takes other movements and runs with it, and the whole symbolic side. It really gets me. Like, I've spoken about the rainbow before, the rainbow brooch, and the symbology, especially in regards to the Christians and the pride flag and the rainbow association with that. Mermaids. Mermaids are in the line of Aphrodite, like they're her relatives. Mermaids warn about the enticement of the flesh. They are a personification, of femininity. The water is consciousness. It's part. It is representative of the psyche, but also emotion as well. Like archetype symbology. When you go back to archetype symbology, water is a cleanser, but it's also emotion. Like in the cups of the tarot card. So, for example, if I were to use the movie Inception, for example, you've got Leonardo DiCaprio. When he's coming out of each stage, he's coming out at the waterline. In that movie, it very much symbolizes the subconscious and the conscious. Mermaids are very much the same. They're in that realm of the subconscious and the conscious. And I don't think that's an accident. I mean, you look at the traditional sirens, for example, and the sirens, and also early mermaid mythos, they were known for dragging men to their deaths. It was the allure of the feminine that killed the masculine, that killed the man. I think that's very symbolic of the mermaid in regards to the transgender agenda, because that's what it's doing. Is they're killing off the man that is them. They become their own siren in a way. So they become the allure to themselves. Then that kills off the man in themselves. It is said to have been said that men gaze upon them at their peril. That they live deep oceans, rocky shores. Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling's had them living in the Hogwarts Lake. And that is how I see mermaids. I don't think Disney princess. I think Harry Potter sirens that are in the Hogwarts Lake. That's what I think when I think. Associated with mermaids is this absolute luxury, and Disney personified that in their movie with Ariel having this big room of tidbits, of human tidbits, you know. Look at this stuff. Isn't it great? Sorry, I'm not a singer. I'm a dancer. But that's part of it too, is the symbolic notion that once they take on this feminine role, this feminine costume, this feminine persona, that some sort of inherent luxury is going to come with that, you know, like there doesn't seem to be a connection in the thoughts of these people that women too have to work. Women too have to work hard. Women, you know, it just seems to be a default once they get all pretties that they will be lounging around in the sun, on rocks and shores and sunbeds, pruning themselves. And around other mermaids too, you know, like getting together with other mermaids. And I think that's almost like what goes on, hey? Like, realistically, they're seeing women's spaces as ponds and lagoons that they can get in there and prune themselves, you know. There's a rock carving in Ireland. It's said to be between the 1400s and 1600s, they believe. And it shows a mermaid with a comb and the mirror, which is always very, very traditional in any pictorials or pictures that you actually see of the mermaids. Is she does have the brush, she does have the comb. It is very like the character narcissist, you know. It's a very narcissist type of self-reflection. It does. Mermaids are very, very self-centered and selfish in that way, that they have that personification of narcissists in them. There was a Babylonian goddess that was the personification of violent anger and erotic energy. Now, that's pretty much AGPs as far as I can tell. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there. It's absolutely shit early in the morning here. It is still dark. I normally get up and take my puppies for a walk, but it's raining, it's dark, and it's my birthday. So, I'll leave it there. I love you now. Talk to you later. Stay loud, my friends. Stone out.
Hello. So I was watching a documentary with my husband the other day, and it was a documentary on Janis Joplin. And something came up in that movie that triggered something that was on Facebook a little earlier. And that was Janis Joplin won an award at uni for the ugliest man. What this triggered just before that was I had put up on Facebook a bunch of men in dresses, hairy chest, the whole lot. And a woman had commented underneath this, because they were all, you know, trans women are women in their little statements. And one of the ladies that I know had put up there, they do sure make ugly women. This has been going on for a long, long time. If we want to devalue a woman, we call them an ugly man. If we want to say something derogative about a man in a dress, we're going to say, well, he makes an ugly woman. What I want to say is this. I'm short. I'm a short woman. There's tall women. There's unattractive women. Those unattractive women are not ugly men. We are not a subcategory of men. So there is short women, there is fat women, there is tall women, there is mature women, there is smart women, there is artistic women, there's bloody potty-mouthed women.
Yeah, you need them all.
And no man will ever be a woman. That is a fact.